When I think of the 90s and early 2000s, I think of children's movies and TV shows and video game tie ins. And they were almost always 2 or 3D platform adventure games, but nowadays we also get 1 to 4 player local multiplayer party games too. And this is where My Singing Monsters Playground comes in. There's 25 mini games in total, and you can arrange them into trying to beat them all or going into like bespoke selections and picking them for practice. And if you don't have friends, then they'll all automatically fill up with AI bots. So there's always 4 players in game at one time, be that human or AI. The minigames are either beat everyone against everyone, 3 versus 1, 2v2, or 1 versus 3 as well. And it's one of the things that stands out from this minigame collection. And it feels somewhat inspired by the Fall Guys game, if I'm perfectly honest, because quite a lot of them are almost replacements. You've got ones where you've got like a spinning log and everyone has to jump over it, it keeps rotating around. There's a punching glove box one version of this as well. There's lots where they're running around and a floor is collapsing, for example. Or it could be very simple ones that are a bit more rhythmic or more arena shootery type games where you're trying to, almost like Super Smash Brothers, throw someone else out of the arena, for example. There's also even kart races or sledge races where you're driving around from a top-down perspective, and they're well done as well. And quite a lot of these are involving like timing of events as well, such as either trying to roll something into your nest or rolling over a snowball to then kill other people. Reminding me a little bit of Hungry Hungry Hippos, if you remember that board game too. There's also a selection of games where you're like chasing around each other and trying to do tag. One of them's in the dark. Some of them are running towards the camera, like old Crash Bandicoot style games. And there's a real menagerie and collection. And what I would say about My Singing Monsters Playground is that they all feel uniquely different and well put together. And whilst there are a couple of weaker links, there is nothing in here that is poor or terrible, and each minigame is well realised. Now, where My Singing Monsters Playground really comes into its own is in the mini games where it matches together multiple gameplay elements at exactly the same time. And sometimes this will be around like some of the sportier ones where you've got like an ice rink, for example, and it's pretty much ice hockey on steroids. But some of the other ones have like an electrical maze where you're having to jump as a collaborative effort together in pairs to match pairs of different icons of the different monsters that are in the game. And so you're A, having to work together, but B, also having to deal with multiple things going on at the same time. And it's there where My Singing Monsters Playground truly shines as a mini game collection, because it goes above and beyond just the very simple press the button, do the thing. There's some of the other things where you can work together as pairs or against each other, like in a gyroscopic battlefield where there's these big rollerball marbles that are going to go and like splat you over. And so that kind of gyro control system is quite cool as well. But again, you can work together as a pair to really take down the other team, or it could be 3 versus 1 and you're really trying to get out of the, like, you might want to go after the strongest person in the point standings if you're playing like the whole 25 mini game run. Because the controls are consistent and they don't give off any air of frustration, the AI is competent and can either support you or be a challenge depending on how the players are all split up. And because the graphics remind me of Buzz Jr. from the PS2 era with a glow up, and I mean that as a compliment, not as a derogatory term. Loads of people go, oh, PS2 graphics for like indie games, and I just think, oh, get over yourself. Actually, I really like the stylisation of this in My Singing Monsters Playground. It just all comes together to make a really unfrustrating and approachable experience, and one that would work well for families who are newer to gaming or don't game nearly as often as maybe some of their younger kids or something like that, because you aren't having to wrestle with a game that's difficult to predict or understand. Everything just makes sense. The more you play, and throughout the different challenges where you can take on, like trying to win all 25 mini games in a row, for example, you can then unlock additional costumes for the 6 players or characters, sorry, that are in this game. But this one's a really hidden gem of decent mini game collections that I think it's probably gone maybe a bit under the radar because it looks like it's aimed towards a much younger audience. And quite often these party minigame collections are done by Oxygen Group, for example, and this one isn't. And it's of a better quality perhaps because of it, because many Oxygen games suffer from that woolly control scheme and floatiness and unpredictability. Lastly, I'd say wait for a sale for this, because I did, because it's constantly at 60 to 70% off sale. And so wait for that bargain price and grab it on the cheap. And it's well worth your time. Thanks for watching. Take care.